2012, 10:53 in the morning. A workday like any other, I'm sitting in front of my computer when an email comes in from outside. I open the email and read it. Dear Jeffrey, I got your email address from our mutual ballroom dance instructor. I have a proposition I'd like to discuss with you. If you are interested, please give me a call. Elizabeth. Along with that email was a photo of one of the loveliest ladies I have ever laid eyes on. So there it was, 10:53 in the morning, a workday like any other, and the only thought that crosses my mind is, in over 5 decades, this has never happened to me. Yes, you're probably surprised. You're probably thinking to yourself, you, Jeffrey? Well, let me tell you, this may come as a surprise to you, but I have not historically been considered a ladies' man. You are surprised at that, right? No, my dating history probably was similar to many gentlemen in this room. Dating back to high school. Mary, would you like to go to a movie this Friday? I'd love to, Jeffrey, but I've got to wash my hair that night. Okay, how about Saturday? I'm washing my hair that night too. Yes, I had very little success, but another memory came back to me. A memory from high school, a conversation with my mother. Now, I remember going to Mom after a decided lack of success in high school and saying, Mom, you used to be a girl. What am I doing wrong? Jeffrey, I'm not there when you're asking these ladies, but let me tell you something. Ladies of all ages like a man who's confident, like a man who seems sure of himself. I'm guessing you're probably coming across as a little bit desperate. Boy, she had me pegged. Mom, how am I going to do that? I don't feel confident. Jeffrey, nobody feels confident, but you can act the behaviors of a confident man. Jeffrey, you can be anybody you first pretend to be. Not bad, huh? Let me ask you a question. Do you think as a 17-year-old, I had the good sense to listen to my mom? Did you have the good sense to listen to your mom at that age? By the way, has anybody else discovered that your parents have gotten a lot smarter as you've gotten older? Well, I like to think that I can learn something in the ensuing 30, 40 years. So, rather than let my rushing insecurities take hold, I asked myself, all right, what would a confident man do? Well, a confident man would pick up the phone. Elizabeth, I just got your email. I am intrigued and I would love to meet with you. We made a date to meet a week later. And then a week goes by. All those rushing insecurities come roaring back. But then I remember, what would my mom do? Jeffrey, you can be anybody you first pretend to be. So I need to pretend to be a confident man. I dressed the part. I looked as good as I could on that day. And I walked into that restaurant. And I remember I saw Elizabeth right off to my right. And I walked right up to her and I said, Elizabeth, you must be Elizabeth, because I have to tell you, as lovely as your photo was, it doesn't begin to do you justice. Not bad, huh? She looked up at me and said, Jeffrey, that is the most charming thing anybody's ever said to me. Now I have to tell you, if you are to ask Elizabeth today, she will have a slightly different story. She will say, she said, thank you, Jeffrey, shall we get a seat? I think her memory's gotten faulty over the years. We had a lovely lunch that went on for 3 hours. We agreed to become dance partners, which is why she was contacting me. And after 3 dance dates, I knew I wanted to make her my wife. Surprisingly, she was not quite so enamored of the opportunity. It took me about 6 months, even with my newfound pretending confidence, to convince her that I was the right man for her. But 11 months later, we walked down the aisle, and I've never been happier every day since. This is a tool that I've been able to apply in all sorts of situations. Do you ever enter a room where you don't know anybody? I ask, what would a confident man do? A confident man would walk up and introduce himself to somebody, get to know people, ask them questions about themselves. In fact, just recently, I had a chance to apply this in my work. An opportunity came up for an executive position in my job 4 levels above where I am now. 4 levels. I thought, well, you know what? I'm taking a shot. I'm going to project all the confidence I don't really feel, and I'm going into those interviews. I had the first interview. I nailed it. I had the second interview. I nailed it. The third interview was with the senior vice president. I nailed it. And 3 weeks later, they offered the job to somebody else. But I did get a nice call from the senior vice president who said, I was very impressive in the interview, and be sure to apply if it ever happens again. I love to call my mom and tell her of the many wisdoms she shared with me. And one of my favorites is to say, Mom, it only took me 43 years to apply the advice you gave me when I was 17 years old. Because I did, I'm now married to the woman of my dreams and living the life that I always dreamed of.